Well, I think it's about time we had an update on the new hub project, which is now well underway and will be nearing completion in the next month or so. So I'm going to take you inside the building, and hopefully you're going to see a number of trades and activities that have been taking place since the last video. Well, you've already seen the impact that the church now has from the crossroads down on Central Road. But before taking you inside, I just thought I'd show you this shot with the cladding which is now being installed on the outside, which is a bronze-coloured stainless steel and is just catching the early morning sunlight. And up on the roof, they've now installed the cladding, or at least started to install the cladding, which is a patterned coloured stainless steel. The coping is still to be installed, and in the morning sunlight, the spire, the cross and the dove are really well lit up for both the street and those on the train. So here is a close-up of the cladding and the joints and the way it's locked together. And you may recall that David Morris is our site manager. He's been here right from the beginning, and I've asked him just to say a few words about what's going to be happening next.
In the car park, we're planning to clear this whole area. The site containers that you had set up for your welfare will be going next week, and all the shrubs will be taken away. The old footpath will go, and then we're getting a new paving going in with a nice new street light for your walkway.
As soon as you come in through the front door, you come into the main hub space, which is top lit, as you see there, and they're currently installing the plasterboard, and we will have a sliding folding screen on the right hand side there into the main hall, and panning round there is a corridor that goes down, and on the left will be the Pentagon and on the right will be the Unity Hall. And then we have the servery in the centre with the glazing above, and then a corridor which links to the other rooms that we have in our building, including the Hicks Lounge and the Baldwin Room. So I'm now stood in the main hall, and you can see that all the areas have now been plastered, and the roof lights with the coffered ceiling and the roof glazing is now all in, and produces a wonderful quality of light coming down into the space. The roof glazing faces north, so it doesn't get direct sunlight, which would be too hot, but it does provide a lot of good quality light, as you get in many artist studios. Then as we move around, you'll see, if we had the sliding folding screen completely open, you'd be looking straight into the hub and the servery. So we're now stood in the servery area, looking towards the hub, with the main hall on the left-hand side. And as you can see, the roof glazing will produce light which is bounced off the walls and down into the hub. And then we have a wonderful view of the avenue and the sunlit buildings on the other side of the road. This is a very generous space, and perhaps can accommodate about 80 people sitting down. So there we have the hub, and the new short corridor which goes to a new meeting room at the front of the building, and then the large window which will have the manifestation with Bible texts on it, looking into the general office. And then the new glazed door which goes out into the car park. We also have a new meeting room at the front of the building which has generous glazing, and will have a beautiful garden in that small triangle that you see in front of us, which also has a window into the hub, which you can see there. So here we have the door to the servery from the kitchen. The kitchen has a new conservatory opening into the Pentagon, and the walls have been clad with hygienic cladding, which all has a covering on it, so it will be white when all this is peeled off at the end of the contract. As we come into the kitchen, you see that there's a very large black box on the ceiling, which actually is a stainless steel extractor hood, which has just been protected. And all the second fix electrics are now being worked on. And if you're wondering how the hygienic cladding is adhered to the wall, here's how it's done. Of course, speeded up slightly for the benefit of the video. Pretty impressive, isn't it? Very similar to wall tiling. And here's the access into the new toilets, male, female, and disabled on the left-hand side. And this is the new toilet area, either the male or the female, and each one has 3 cubicles which are separate with full height walls and have a WC and hand wash basin. The walls are clad, as you can see, up to about halfway with the hygienic cladding. The baby changing will be in this area. Thanks to a group of helpers, the rear garden is currently being cleared and good progress has already been made. Here we have some pictures of our wonderful stained glass window, which has been prepared in Peter's studio in Germany to the designs by Martin Donlin for our prayer chapel. The window at this stage is nearly complete but not quite, and is now due for transportation to our site at Worcester Park next week. Internally, the glass is textured with the Lord's Prayer. We very much look forward to the completion of the Hub project and being able to use its facilities to share God's love with the community.